Carry
Well,
on.
if
You
I'm
were you
pizza
were
dog,
making a
that's
good point, probably.
that's really the important thing to remember is that if you see enough, you can counter it.
Yep.
And I think if you've ever watched anything that Dredd has done about draft theory, he talks about the turn basically, and like how you once you get past that second set of bands, you can kind of apply draft pressure in a number of ways. So for Pizza Dog, that's kind of what I want to see. Just read what youngest Woodies does and respond to it. I mean, this is not a weird map in terms of draft priorities. I think maybe global gets kind of prioritized in some senses, but
Yeah.
it's pretty standard, honestly, across the map. Like it's not like
Yeah.
infernal shrines or anything.
So it looks
So
like youngest Woodies does not want to play against Illidan, and Pizza Dog does not want to play against Li Ming. Not too
oh,
surprising, and we have an insta lock for Falstad from youngest Woodies.
okay, so yeah, I mean, this is not surprising. Even with the nerf to Gust, the global's so good on this map, and the Gust is still good. It's just on a longer cooldown, which means you need to use it a little bit more carefully than you did before. And
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with encouraging that kind of play, I think, from
No,
Blizzard
I
because Gust was so
I like
powerful.
that.
Yeah, I agree. So now Pizza Dog going a little bit into their time pool, they take Thrall, and Thrall actually has a feral spirit that's a dog. So he can shoot a
This makes
literal
total
pizza dog.
sense. This
Yeah.
makes total sense. I
And
like
they're
it.
they're gonna
He's a great laner too. Tyrande. Usually, when you see Tyrande, your first question is, okay, is she going to be solo support or single support? And what are they going to pair with her to roaming gank?
yeah, and the youngest Woodies picking up Grayman and Rhaegar. I
And
love
they're
this.
doing it fast too. It's like they know exactly what they want.
Yeah, it's actually kind of scary because when your opponent drafts that fast, if you're Pizza Dog, you're like, okay, like let us think about this. Like we wanna look at what you're doing, but it's like, nah, sorry, we're locking in Grayman and Rhaegar. And honestly, at this point, youngest Woodies has more dogs than Pizza Dog does.
that's that's so true.
And that's I don't know if this is intentional BM, but like
Oh gosh, I love it.
I don't
That's
know. I
that's
can't
true.
tell. I can't tell.
Oh, that was fun. I'm glad we had that moment, Josh.
So
Oh gosh.
a Azul ban for Pizza Dog. So
Yeah, I like that ban. He's so good for lockdown. He's got great wave clear. And so you're taking out another wave clear that could go against that Thrall. Zagara still is in, though, but at the same time, Pizza Dog could pick her up because Vala was just banned.
weird to ban Vala when Zagara was available. Actually,
Yeah, that is a little strange. It
could
could be something it's just like we don't want to play against Vala for some reason or another.
it
It is a slightly odd ban though.
it could be that they're whatever composition they're going to build is one that doesn't want to play against Rain of Vengeance now because Rain of
True.
Vengeance is actually quite strong, does a lot of damage, and if the enemy's composition groups up, it can be fatal. Like it can do so much damage and disruption. So I don't know. That's just a guess. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I could really think to ban Vala in the current meta. I don't
Pizza
think that.
Dog is really dipping in their time pool right now.
Yeah, you gotta pick something. Like don't let it auto lock and get a
Okay,
gas low or something. So
we're getting a Rainer.
so
So I like Rainer. He's decent. He's got some survivability. We have no tanks and no heals ban. Not that youngest Woodies needs heals. And like you said, Tirana might be our solo healer. So any tank is on the table for Pizza Dog if they want it.
yeah, and I honestly, I if you're gonna you need to pick your tank now. And ooh, they're gonna take Tyrael. Okay.
I like this. They, I, because of this, I would like to see another melee
Oh
come
yeah,
out from them
definitely.
as their
I
last.
that
So youngest Woody's grabbing Johanna. That's the standard. Uh, it's honestly Johanna Murden, probably about the same, or they can be fairly close depending on what it goes for the scenario you're going for. It's more probably comfort in this
I
case, I
want
would
I,
say.
I wonder if they might go Kale. They don't have a burst damage. Kale recently
Jaina's still on the
buffed.
table too.
Jaina is on the table. I think like with having condemn And having Thrall and Tyrael kind of in the front, it could. I actually think Kale could be pretty good here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jaina. I mean, Jaina's so good.
Yeah.
Though she often is passed over, she remains a very strong choice. So, I guess we'll see what the youngest Woodies decide to do.
Yeah, and they still got like 35 seconds left to make this pick. A Jaina does make a lot of sense. Honestly, I think a Sylvanas would be kind of fun.
Yeah, they could. Oh, there it
Oh, you
is.
got your kill. You got
There
your
it
kill.
is. I'm so happy.
Whew.
Okay.
And
I love it.
this is the first kill we've seen tonight post balance patch.
Yeah, and honestly, that doesn't surprise me. I think a lot of Assassin players fell out of the habit of playing Kale. He's been gone for a while, and even after the recent changes, I think people were kind of not really loving the character. And hopefully, with these tweaks, we'll see him a little bit more. I don't
Yeah.
think he needs to be as dominant as he once was.
No.
But
Please no.
but it'd be
Please
nice to
no.
see. It'd be nice to see more of him. And it looks like this might auto lock into a Muradin. I don't know if that was an auto lock or if they picked it, but
Honestly, this isn't bad. I
no,
could
I don't
see
think it's
this
bad.
working, especially with a Muradin Tyrande like roaming gank. It's not quite the same as Diablo, but it could still be very effective.
I have to say though, you look at the draft for youngest Woodies, and like, I don't know, that is a solid draft.
It's
I
scary.
I have to.
It's
I have
scary
to,
for sure.
could we see Falling Sword finally? Could we see post buff Falling Sword? Because Johanna has been in all of our games.
I feel like no, because they don't have a lot of hard CC other than that Kale gravity lapse, and so they might want Blessed Shield just for the extra hard CC. But I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Could we see Judgment Tyrael?
I kind of think you have to go Sanctification. There's a couple reasons. One is it. First of all, it makes Falling Sword useless, so like there's no chance of that being picked. But also Gust and Chain Bomb and maybe even Pyroblast. If Pyroblast is selected, like Sanctification has a ton of uses against this
Oh
team.
yeah,
and
honestly, they've got enough melee, especially to justify it. I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, Muradin, like I know I'm throwing out the crazy heroics, but Muradin could honestly go playmaker because if he can hit the Greymane or the Kael'thas, like, and he has Tyrael with Sanctification, that might be enough. Plus, not to mention Tyrael's W. I mean, it does offer a fair amount of survivability. Like, we could see potentially a playmaker. I guess I don't know. I just want to
feel
see
like
it.
Yeah, I know we want to see it, but I feel like it's a little early and people haven't gotten to test it out yet enough. It's same kind of deal with Falling Sword too, right?
I don't know. I think Falling Sword isn't that hard to use. So I don't know. I think Falling Sword is good enough now that it can be used. But I don't know. My question is, does Woodies really even need the damage? They don't.
I don't think they do.
The rest of their comp, like
no. And when I say I don't think they've had a chance to test it, it's just no one's used to picking these because these things that were buffed, these ults that were buffed, were never picked before. So picking it on the spur just after reading patch notes may not be what you want to do either.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like you said, it's been only like a few hours, honestly, since a patch has been live. So maybe people haven't been messing around with all the lesser used heroics. But hopefully, I will see them in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm really excited for this Kael'thas play. So let's see what happens.
All right, here we go. In game. So on the side of the youngest Woodies, we have Philly 2X on Greymane, Tilt City on Kael'thas, the youngest Woody on the youngest Woodies, Young Woody, Cartwright on Johanna, and Harry Augie on Rhaegar.
And on the side of Pizza Dog, we have Laeral on Tyrande, Plaz Suarms on Thrall, Earthbody on Muradin. That's an appropriate name. Guidon, on Tyrael, and Shadews on Raynor.
And we have a 2-arc shootout.
Shout out to my buddies 2-arc.
That's right.
Well done.
Well done.
All right.
Well done.
Ooh, look at this from Woudys. They're like, hey, are you guys in a bush?
Sneaky. And over on Pizza Dog, we're just like, we're just waiting.
In lane.
We're just standard.
Yeah. So, interesting thing about Kael'thas, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, I guess, while there's not a lot of action. The Empower for his Flame Strike does not cause extra damage anymore.
Yeah, it's just a bigger range now.
Yeah. So, we'll probably see it less in, like, laning situations. Because you can pretty much hit the whole wave if you're just careful,
So Woudys is going to be running the 4-1 composition.
Well, as they should with this.
As they should. Yeah.
Like,
and it looks like we're playing pretty standard. Murden and Raynor actually doing a really good job of watching their mini-mats for that composition. They're staying really close to their wall, just soaking the XP, which is probably the best you can do. Tyrael is not in a huge danger. He's got a good escape with his sword. And then we've got, Falstad up top against Thrall and Tyrande. He's not going to be able to win that.
Yeah, and actually, Pizza Dog sort of just gives up this bottom shrine. Tilt City and Harry Augie here, just down here. They thought they were missing for a sec, so they were very cautious. But they've actually managed to take that shrine, and they're now holding it. Not sure how much that Pizza Dog's really willing to engage on the bottom lane without a support here. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Tyrande had to come down from the top as young Woudys are actually pushing the middle quite hard right now. Both those towers almost dead already.
Yeah, wow, yeah, you're right. Look at all that structural damage. And here's the four-man rotation again. Coming into the lane, driving Tyrande out of the lane. She has to go the safe way around. And they're going to get these towers, and this is pressure.
Yeah, and this is a good half level of experience, but at the same time, Pizza Dog is doing a really good job of not putting themselves in a position to get ganked.
Yeah, Shadews here might have been in more danger if Rhaegar wasn't alone, but right now they just want to cap this shrine so they can make sure that the Dragon Knight doesn't go over to Pizza Dog.
Yeah, Thrall doing actually a really, really good job top up against this Falstad. He's forcing him to have to go back. He's just really owning this top lane, and he hasn't had much pressure.
Yeah, no, he's been coasting up there for sure. Falstad now flying in to deal with it, but pretty much a solid lane for him, and he's got actually dual young Woody here, but Falstad can definitely win that if he has cooldowns up, so needs to be careful. And now Pizza Dog capping that bottom shrine again.
Yeah, Pizza Dog has been doing a really good job of keeping the shrine, even against that big four-man push. Again, they've done a really good job. They've kept safe. They're not putting themselves out too far, and this has really just been kind of a stalemate other than that mid-lane tower destruction.
Yeah, and XP is actually very close considering that tower destruction. There's a slight lead for youngest Woudys, but not as much as you'd expect maybe to have two towers down. So
and I think that just means Pizza Dog is doing a really good job soaking right now.
Yeah, I'd agree. I want to do, I guess, during this lull, I'm going to call out talents. A little bit of Chain Lightning build from Thrall. Definitely a Smite build from Tyrael. I like it.
Love it.
Looks like an auto attack. Yeah, no kidding. It actually is quite fun to play.
It is.
And an auto attack build from Raynor. Looks like a mage stat build. Not surprising. And we have Convection taken by Kael'thas, so that's the stacking damage bonus that you lose if you die. So that's something to keep track of. In the bottom lane, though, Rhaegar gets hit by the Lunar Flare, very low on health, but it looks like they're going to be able to get out. Earthbody's trying to make something happen, but he's way too far away. And he's really just trying to zone out away from the shrine, TPK.
Yeah, the young Woodies didn't actually see that there were 3 people bottom, so I think they underestimated a little bit when they went in too far, as Rhaegar was kind of up front, but they don't have their tank there either, so they have to really be careful. And this is what's really nice about the 2-tank composition is Tyrael's holding his own pretty well here in the top, where Murden can be that front line for Raynor, be the front line for Tyrande, while they do so much damage to Rhaegar right now.
Yeah, oh wow, that Stormbolt lands, but just nobody there as Cartwright and Philly 2X were zoning out the rest of the team. Wow, that Flame Strike damage is so real. He actually did take Burned Flesh at 7 TBK, so if it hits 2 or more heroes, it deals an additional 8% of their health bar.
Yeah, and that'll be really good against this higher health team as well. So that was definitely a smart pick. The one other thing I really like, though, about this double tank composition from Pizza Dog is that Tyrael has the freedom to go this Bruiser type build.
Yeah.
Because Tyrael can actually do ridiculous amounts of damage that you do not expect from a tank if you build him right.
He's also a pretty good duelist too in situations where that might happen if he builds for damage. So it will be cool to see how that impacts the fights late game. Now again, both teams getting to level 9 at about the same time here. So XP very, very slightly in favor of Pizza Dog actually, but neither really having a strong advantage, and it's still one shrine apiece. About 6 minutes into this game.
And honestly, if you think about it, top lane has not been touched by anybody. There's been no ganks. It's just been Falstad and Thrall dueling back and forth. All the action is really taking place in this middle and bottom lane, and even though Thrall is slightly winning the top lane, there's really just not a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, winning in the sense that there's more damage on the structures, but neither has been destroyed, so at the end of the day, there's no, like, tangible benefit yet for his team. Both shrines now in the command of Pizza Dog, but that's going to end as Falstad goes up here. Thrall going to recapture it, but I don't know. I think actually Tyrael may get this because there's really... There's an Archer minion!
Oh, no!
No!
No! Winion's OP, Josh.
The Archer minion with good map awareness.
Actually kept them from capping it.
Yeah, the Archer minion definitely needs... Somebody needs to buy the Archer minion a drink later if he survives. Yeah. I somehow doubt that he will.
I think he just died.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Rip. But...
he gave his life for the cause, though.
Oh, yeah. He knew what this was. So now we have Youngest Woudys desperately fighting for this bottom shrine because they don't want to let it go over. They, nearly lost the Dragon Knight there. But it's 2v3, and actually Philly 2X going to flank here, maybe get some damage in on Shadyus as he jumps in.
Yeah, Tremonda's going to be there, though. We have the Playmaker! The Playmaker just made a play, Josh.
That was a play, and I guess I should mention the rest of the heroics. Oh, wow, actually, we're going to lose.
This is big. This is big for Pizza Dog. We've got 2 members down now. Thrall is capping the top shrine, and this is going to be their best opportunity to grab a Dragon Knight.
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to be able to drive Johanna away. Actually, there's not a lot of damage here, so that's sort of the problem. Falstad going to make a play on top shrine. I don't know if Thrall can stop this because it's very... Oh, uses the Gust top to just get Thrall away, so they will secure the shrine. I don't know if he can hold it against Thrall.
No,
it looks like
he has to retreat, but that might have bought enough time for the rest of his team to get back up.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice play. I mean, it's a longer cooldown now, but it looks like it's going to be worth because I think it is going to allow them to hold on for now.
Oh.
Tilt City gets an Ancestral from Harry Augie, and I think they're going to be able to just turn this around. Cartwright trying to flank, but I don't really think there's an opportunity to get a kill here unless Earthbody overextends.
No.
Shield right in
coming
the
out.
chin. Yeah.
And I do want to point out, Josh, we've got some crazy heroics.
Yeah, I want to get to that.
Pyroblast and
Pyroblast.
Judgment.
Okay, so I didn't see the order in which these were picked, but if I was Kael'thas and I saw no Sanctification, I would definitely consider Pyroblast against this comp. There isn't burst healing. There's the possibility to blow up the Tyrande immediately, which is a very big boon to your team. So I like this pick. Again, I didn't see the order, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. Judgment coming in, actually, on Rhaegar in the bottom lane. Tyrael doing so much damage, like you said. If he builds for damage, he can definitely apply that pressure, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
It was unfortunate because Tyrande had just used her Lunar Flare before the Judgment came out, and that would have been an absolutely beautiful setup, and I feel like if she had that Lunar Flare still, Rhaegar would be dead.
And, I mean, like, look at the XP, TBK. We're
it's
neck and
neck.
Yeah, like, this is about as close a game as I think we've ever casted in Cherry League, honestly. Like, this is very close.
This is so back and forth. It's almost 10 minutes in. We have not had a Dragon Knight yet. I mean, Pizza Dogs has been postulating for it just constantly. Johanna comes in kind of by herself, Lots of damage going out, but that shield will take care of most of it. And they're just not able to push Pizza Dogs out.
Wow, and Cartwright actually doing a great job of zoning Pizza Dogs, but like you said, Pizza Dogs are tenacious. They have a big health pool. They have a lot of defenses. Ooh, the Hunter's Mark goes down. Johanna, she takes a lot of damage. Earthbody on Muradin just trying to bully away, but that Flame Strike damage is huge. Rhaegar now getting caught, but he's just gonna barely sneak away. The flank though from Thrall. The Wolf lands. The Wolf falls. Cartwright also falls, and wow, the Pyroblast though.
Bye-bye,
Rip.
Gaiden.
Oh
it was nice knowing you. So that was that was the consolation prize, right? They knew they were 2 for nothing. Kael'thas saw he was down. He's got no sanctification, and so that was absolutely the right move to just kind of even that up a little bit. I mean, even with the kill so far, the XP is still dead even.
And now in the top, young Woody on Falstad uses Gust. He's just trying to delay this. He knows he can't fight this. I don't think he has... Okay, there's the barrel roll. He actually may fall here.
Oh my goodness.
Young Woody.
He didn't have the chain lightning to finish him off after he had gotten around the wall.
Wow.
So ridiculous. And that's exactly what he needed, though. He bought them the time, he didn't die, and now they're able to recap that top. And actually, young Woodies may be getting the shrines for the first time this game.
Yeah, actually, in the top, a fight has broken out. It's Johanna Rhaegar versus Muradin and Thrall. And actually, I don't think this is really a fight that young Woodies can win, although Earthbody is taking a lot of damage. Tyrael shows up. This is now a 3-on-3, and Earthbody has, like, no health. Tyrande shows up way too late, TBK.
Yeah, and the ults are just flying everywhere. Blessed Shield came out. Nice Ancestral on the Falstad to keep him up. Beautiful job by Cartwright to body block, but Tyrael's going to sword right out of there.
Ooh.
Oh, and that was literally the perfect time for Johanna to use her Unstoppable. If she had gotten stunned under both of those towers, she may have died there. But Philly now channeling the Dragon Knight without anyone to stop him, and this is the first Dragon Knight of the game. 12 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Wow.
With levels still fairly close, but they're down to talent. Pizza Dogs is down to talent here now, and Raynor dies to the dreaded Dragon Kick.
Yeah, I mean, Pizza Dog really needs to slow this down. They need to get 16. They can't contest right now. Wow, that Flame Strike is insane.
Yeah.
Wow, so much damage. So they need to just soak to 16 and then look for opportunities to make something happen. But the Dragon Knight is disruptive. He can punt somebody away from the fight. And you know what? It looks really like young Woodies is just going to force this key.
Oh, man, those Flame Strikes are just doing ridiculous amounts of damage right now.
Yeah, and he has picked up Fury of the Sun well, so there's a second one that comes out right afterwards if you're not careful. It's really doing a lot of damage. I sadly cannot see his quest because that's not built into the Observer UI, so I don't know how many stacks he has.
He's got to be pretty close at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has finished the quest at this point because he has not died the entire time.
And this is really good. They don't have a lot of time left on the Dragon Knight, but what they had, they used. They rotated down. They got the fort. A beautiful gust by young Woody to disengage that fight. And just with that two-man wipe, they were able to turn this from a neck-and-neck game into a 2-level deficit for Pizza Dog.
And yeah, now it's really up to Pizza Dog to find a fight or a pick right before the shrines, because if they allow youngest Woodies to get to level 20, I mean this could easily be game.
Yeah.
So it's a dangerous situation right now because you want to defend your forts, but right now ultimately the priority is trying to get the tempo of this game back before 20 hits.
At the same time, I feel like they need to kill Kael'thas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
this Kael'thas is doing ridiculous amounts of damage right now.
But you don't lose the bonus once the quest is done, and I'm
almost
positive
but
the
just to get that damage potential
gotcha.
and the chain bombs and the flame strikes out of there, because that is just murdering this high health team right now.
I just can't believe how much damage these flame strikes do now. Like, it seems like the old days when Ignite was still a thing, and like being hit by a flame strike meant losing 2/3 of your health if you weren't a tank.
Yeah.
Like it just is so much damage. I don't. Oh,
So
now
Pizza Dogs, yeah, they're making a good push. They know Falstad's up top. He can fly down whenever they want. They ended up getting some towers, knocking down the wall. They really need this, but unfortunately, youngest Woudys is just inches away from 20, and the shrines are spawning.
This is the really scary part for me too. Like, yeah, we saw the one haymaker that connected, but like, what have we seen since then from haymaker? Like, it just seems like fight breaks out and it doesn't do anything, you know. And that's sort of my problem with the heroic. So maybe Earthbody can prove me wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong here, as both teams position for these shrines that have just come up.
All right, so Shadowstalk has gone down. They're going to sneak in.
Oh.
Rhaegar all alone, and they are just blowing him up. He cannot use his Ancestral on himself. Beautiful gust to come in. Judgment goes down onto Falstad, and Rhaegar is getting so low. The Hyperion comes down from behind. Shadows is coming into the battle. The Ancestral actually connects on Falstad, and now Tyrael is in retreat as well as Muradin, and the fight has completely turned around against Pizza Dogs.
Wow, Cartwright does not want to be stopped by this fort. He's actually taking quite a bit of damage. What a fight, though, from the youngest Woudys. It looked so bad until that gust. You know, like the gust really gave
the gust turned that whole fight around completely. Without that gust, Rhaegar would have been dead. The Ancestral would not have gone off on Falstad, and youngest Woudys would have been 2 or 3 people down instead of Pizza Dog.
That is why they nerfed Gust. That team fight is why they nerfed Gust and gave it a longer cooldown, because it has the potential to win a fight in the right scenario. And certainly it helped them not lose it there.
Yeah, and at 17 minutes with 2 members down, this core, they're not going to be able to stop this. Sundering goes out, but it's just too late. And this is how quickly the game can turn. This whole game basically started snowballing out of Pizza Dog's control with that 1-2-man wipe and the dragon capture. And then youngest Woudys just kept snowballing it from there.
Yeah, but I really do have to hand it to Pizza Dog. Like, they hung in there for a very long time. That Dragon Knight...
yeah. I mean, look how low a kill that... a low a death that game was.
7 to 2.
That's nothing.
Yeah. And, I mean, really, it was... Like you said, you get a small advantage. And when the game is that close, oftentimes a small advantage is all you need, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you get that advantage, and then you push that advantage. And that's what happened. And
youngest Woudys did that. They were very careful once they kept that advantage not to lose it. And like he said, Pizza Dogs almost turned it around with that top shrine team fight. They were just so close to turning that around. But Gust completely turned that fight on its head. Yeah, I mean, it looked like such a great engage. They got everything they wanted. Yeah, Shadow Stalk, body blocks. Rhaegar was all by himself. It was insane. They were seconds away from sealing the deal. And then the Gust came out. And that was it. I mean, it's just an insane use of that heroic to, like, Falstad saved his whole team. Yeah. It's that simple. Everybody died. That could have been the turning point in the game for Pizza Dogs to switch the momentum back in their favor, because if they had done a 3 or 4-man wipe there, they would have gotten both shrines, they would have gotten the Dragon Knight, and they would have been the ones. Yeah, they got everything they wanted in that engage, and it's just so tragic to be blown away from it at the last second. I can't help but think that Judgment never really got a ton of mileage, and it didn't. If they had Sanctification there, and they'd thrown it down, that's a dead Rhaegar. Yeah, you know? And I feel like that was probably. That was probably Pizza Dog's biggest mistake, was to not take Sanctification, because that could have protected from so much damage from those flame strikes. That would have protected against that Gust, and that would have really protected in those shrine fights that are so tight. Yeah.
it's weird because the nerf to ancestral healing makes you want to pick judgment, right? Because now you're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, you
we'll
can
just
go
blow
on
up
to it and he
Rhaegar.
can't heal
Yeah,
himself.
yeah, we'll just blow up Rhaegar, no problem. But I mean, the Gus is just such like every heroic on the side of uh of the youngest Woodies can be negated,
Yeah,
except for ancestral, of course, it can be negated
saint.
by having sanctification. And like
Yeah,
so many times, I felt like it would have turned the fight, but it just obviously like they went with judgment, and that's like just a call you have to make, obviously. And
yeah.
the other thing for Pizza Dog, I want to point out, Haymaker, I never felt like it
It
got the
got
value.
as soon as he picked it, he got an amazing pick with it
True, true.
right off the bat. But beyond that, it was nothing really.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it just felt like it fell flat, and it is one of those heroics that feels really bad when you're behind, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Because it's so hard to make those plays and put yourself in the position to
yeah.
actually make Haymaker work.
It's like the hunt, right? Like
Oh
like
yeah.
the hunt is great when you're ahead because you just victimize everybody.
Yeah.
But when you're behind, you're just teleporting yourself to the people who are going to kill you. And with Haymaker, you have to put yourself in the position where you can make the play, you know? And yes, that's right, Harry. Harry Augie in the chat. I have no talents. I don't know why that is, but
Yeah.
I am
I
looking at
don't
the same thing.
yeah, I don't understand why he had no stats either.
I mean,
So Harry Augie, you did nothing in
you
that
got
game. Come
get
on.
get carried. You know?
No, he had some clutch ancestrals.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really did.
Absolutely.
Was,
And I want
was
to I want to
insane.
highlight. I know we talked about the Gus a lot. I want to highlight Tilt City on Kael'thas. Like
Oh man, bring in the
did
damage.
did a lot of damage for his team. Like look at that, 52,000. Next close. I mean, I have to assume Rhaegar is not the next closest because even though
Probably
I can't
not.
see his stats, he's Rhaegar. So I mean, Greymane at 31 is the next closest. And look at
And
these
Rayner at
talents.
33 on the other team. Like that's 20k more than anybody else did.
And all of these talents are Flame Strike talents, with the exception of 13, because I don't think there are any Flame Strike talents at 13. And anyways, Pyromaniac just helps you get more
Get
Flame
some more, yeah,
Strikes.
get more flame
So,
strikes.
so I like this build from Tilt City. Hopefully, we'll see more Kael'thas play in the future because that's actually a fun Kael'thas style to
Yeah,
watch. The like chain bomb at 13 style was never really my favorite, and Ignite was just that play style was crazy. It should never have been allowed in the game, but
yeah,
this is
that was a
fun. Like
little
when a
crazy.
when a flame strike hits multiple people, you get that bonus damage. Like it's painful. So I really like the impact on the game. Hopefully we see more.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for our chair league games, and we will be back probably next week, week 2, with some more chair league. Super excited. I think most likely we'll be doing chair league games Monday and Thursday nights,
I think that's the plan
as
going
that
forward.
works best with our schedules. As the other nights we have to adult, which
I,
is
I'm
not
not
fun but needed.
I'm not gonna pretend I'm adulting on my other nights because I'm not really. But I know you do.
Yes, I
So
do have to adult.
yeah.
But it is a lot of fun to do this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm TBK. You can find me on Twitter at TBKZord, or you can check out my Heroes of the Storm podcast, actually, at the links below, Lords of the Storm. Give that a listen. Josh, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Throne Gauntlet, or I am an esports reporter for the Score Esports. So head over to our website, thescoreesports.com/hots, where I report on all the comings and goings of the competitive hot scene. There was a lot of news today, so if you haven't read
Lot of
anything
news.
today, you may want to check that out. So head on over to our site or pick up our app off the Google App Store, or you can get an Apple version, and you can even set it up so you get notifications when your favorite team or even just anything about HOTS gets posted.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us for now. We will see